like to first ask you a little bit about the region and then come to Sri Lanka. We are hearing that the Asia Pacific region is doing amazingly well, rapidly transforming to be a cornerstone of global aviation according to IATA, published last month. And India is looking to be the third largest passenger market in about 2 years. Looking at all of this, what do you observe as the main or the most significant opportunities in the region?
Asia Pacific is the verge of reshaping the global aviation. There are a lot of opportunities having India and China in the region. They are giants.
Of course. So, in so many ways.
Exactly. At the same time, we have a lot of challenges as well. When Asia Pacific is booming like that, number one challenge is, of course, acquisition of the aircraft. There is huge demand for aircraft. India is booming. India is in 2030 expecting 400 million and China in 2035 expecting 1.6 billion. With all these difficulties, there are a lot of opportunities, especially for us, our close proximity to India. Currently, we are operating about 90 flights to India per week in 9 destinations. But in our long-term plan, we are expanding to about 14-15 countries, more than 120 flights a week. Those are the opportunities.
Yes.
Asia Pacific is booming. SriLankan is operating to almost all major destinations in Asia Pacific, Japan, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, everywhere. A lot of opportunities and we are capitalizing on that and we are ready for that.
Aviation is booming in Sri Lanka. We spoke about all of this and more with Dimuthu Tennakoon. Stay tuned.
For 30 years, LMD has been the voice of business in Sri Lanka, capturing the pulse of the nation's corporate landscape through its iconic covers. Each cover tells a story, from the first edition in 1994 to the present day, narrating key moments, leaders and trends that have shaped Sri Lanka's business ecosystem. Over the years, LMD covers have featured thought leaders, business pioneers and game-changing innovations, reflecting the evolution of industries and the economy. As we celebrate 30 years, these covers represent more than just publications. They are a testament to LMD's legacy of excellence in business journalism and its unwavering commitment to being Sri Lanka's leading voice of business. LMD, Sri Lanka's voice of business, a legacy of 30 years.
Hello and welcome to LMDtv. Today we are zooming in on the aviation industry and I'm here with the head of commercial at SriLankan Airlines, Dimuthu Tennakoon. Welcome to our show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Pleasure. I'd like to first ask you a little bit about the region and then come to Sri Lanka. Okay. We are hearing that the Asia Pacific region is doing amazingly well, rapidly transforming to be a cornerstone of global aviation according to IATA, published last month. And India is looking to be the third largest passenger market in about 2 years, 2027. Looking at all of this, what do you observe as the main or the most significant opportunities in the region?
Yeah, it's right. This has been always there with Europe and America, North America. They were dominating the industry. Yes. But I would say right now, Asia Pacific is on the verge of reshaping the global aviation. There are a lot of opportunities having India and China in the region. They are giants.
Of course. So, in so many ways.
Exactly. So there are a lot of opportunities for us. At the same time, we have a lot of challenges as well. When Asia Pacific is booming like that, number one challenge is, of course, acquisition of the aircraft. There is huge demand for aircraft. Recently in Malta, CEO of Airlines said any airline placing an order for an aircraft, at least they have to wait 5 to 6 years.
My goodness.
So that's a reality. Having said that, India is booming. India is in 2030 expecting 400 million and China in 2035 expecting 1.6 billion. So with all these difficulties, there are a lot of opportunities, especially for us, our close proximity to India.
Yes.
And we consider India, especially South India, as our extended home market, which we have been capitalizing on all this time. Currently, we are operating about 90 flights to India per week in 9 destinations. But in our long-term plan, we are expanding to about 14, 15 countries,
Right.
more than 120 flights a week. We are not only operating to metros, and we are targeting secondary cities as well. Of course, China, we operate to Guangzhou right now, but we are in our long-term plan, we are planning to operate to 5, 6 cities, more than closer to 20 flights a week. So those are the opportunities.
Yes.
Asia Pacific is booming. We operate, SriLankan is operating to almost all major destinations in Asia Pacific, Japan, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, everywhere. Lot of opportunities, and we are capitalizing on that, and we are ready for that.
Lovely. I love the optimism. Looking at the Sri Lankan aviation industry, I mean, we saw flights being cancelled, flights being rescheduled, airlines leaving the country, but now everything seems to be coming right. We're seeing a lot of, like a huge increase in scheduled flights, about 30 airlines calling in, and we're hearing that there's going to be infrastructural developments as well. But I'll ask you, what do you see as the most significant improvements as well as the challenges right now?
Yes, we had the most difficult time. Couple of years ago, we didn't have a jet fuel in Sri Lanka. So at that time, we were Googling whether any other country faced this situation, but we couldn't find anything. We did not have a single liter of, I can't say single, they were keeping some for emergency, but they were not refueling. We did not have fuel. Even Sri Lankan used to go to India and refuel and come back. We used to operate to European and China, Japan, all those destinations, Australia, via South Indian destinations, we refuel. So those are the difficult times. Airlines stopped, yes, they couldn't repatriate money. A lot of airlines stopped, and they stopped selling in Sri Lanka as well.
Yes.
But we are back. 30, close to 30 scheduled airlines and a few charter operators operating into the country, which is very, I would say the improvement is huge. No one expected within very short period of time to pick this business. Sri Lankan aviation, Sri Lankan numbers are booming. It's excellent numbers, I would say. Even last year, we had about 2 million tourists. This year, 3 million expecting.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that we can surpass that target.
True.
I would say from Sri Lankan Airlines point of view, we have been always operating, planning our destinations in line with the tourism strategy. Pre-COVID, when we had the best number in 2018, it's 2.3 million tourists. Out of that, about 50% we brought them into the country. It was generating about $4.5 billion. I would say about $2 billion contribution from Sri Lankan Airlines, and all the other airlines coming into the country. The other important thing is the infrastructure.
Yes.
So that is very important, and I'm glad that government is investing a lot of money for Terminal 2. Currently, with the existing operation, we can handle about 6 million passengers at the airport. But
that's not
about
enough.
$8 million passengers we are handling, about 7, 8. That's not enough. With the new terminal, Terminal 2, it will go up to about 15 million.
That's
so
great.
Those are the good things and the developments. The government is investing that money, and airlines are coming up, and also very liberal air services agreements with the countries. So it's almost like open sky policy, which is not open sky, but a lot of airlines are operating into Sri Lanka and give the traffic rights to most of these airlines. So country is getting ready for this, and in a couple of years, I'm sure that the 30 will go to 40, 45. So by that time, we should be ready to face them, because we need tourists, we need money, and that is the low-hanging fruit which we can definitely easily get the benefits of.
Of course. I want to come back to tourism, but I also want to ask you, now imports are coming in, exports are slowly but surely rising. How is the cargo movements in and out?
Cargo movements, of course, during COVID time, that was very good. We had very good yields. And the quantity volume was also good. Right now, after that, then it slowed down,
Yeah.
but now it is picking up again, especially with the e-commerce movements, and we have huge demand.
That's great.
More we have for air freight, we have a lot of demand, especially from all the countries via Sri Lanka and even into Sri Lanka.
Right.
The demand is good, and air cargo forums also saying that Sri Lanka will be a hub. And its cargo is also having a good future.
Yes. It's time now to take a very short break, but we'll soon be back to talk more about aviation.
Display your brand message on digital screens at prime locations. The largest digital advertising network in Sri Lanka. Emerging Media.
Welcome back to the show. We're in conversation with the head of commercial at SriLankan Airlines, Dimuthu Tennakoon. Coming back to tourism, Dimuthu, we are seeing like passengers coming and also outbound as well. But in terms of inbound passengers, there's talk of the need to improve domestic aviation. And we are seeing that airports around the country are making some noise. But I'll ask you, how is the domestic side happening right now?
Domestic side need to be improved. I know, I mean, people are coming, most of these tourists coming to Sri Lanka for about 6-7 days.
Yes, they want to cover.
Exactly, and then to stay on the road for 6-7 hours, it's not something that tourists will expect.
Sure.
We have to do a lot of infrastructure development, and not only that, even airports. Jaffna Airport, yes, couple of airlines operating from India, and Batiklo is also getting ready. Ratmalana is there, but still we cannot operate this narrow-bodied aircraft. Is only
because of the runway.
Yes.
Okay.
So those are the things that we should invest money on. If we can invest those money, that will be definitely help to improve domestic tourism. And also we have of course Cinnamon Air and a couple of other few domestic carriers, but affordability is very important.
True.
And the most important thing what I can say is the tax differential.
Right.
Local domestic travel is value-added tax. So if you purchase a ticket to go from here to Nuwara or Jaffna, you have to pay back 18%.
Yes.
International travel is a fixed percentage, fixed amount.
Yeah.
If you are coming, if somebody wants to travel, let's say Canada to Jaffna, they have to first sector Canada to Sri Lanka international sector, they have to pay a fixed amount of tax, and Colombo to Jaffna, it's a percentage. So we cannot combine these two tickets.
Oh, okay.
We can't.
Okay.
We can't issue a through ticket. And tourists, they don't like to come to Sri Lanka without having through ticket, because the responsibility lies with them after that if they are purchasing 2 tickets. And that is one major important point which we have highlighted this to the government.
Yes.
Hopefully we will have a solution. If it is a fixed amount, then we can issue a through ticket from Australia to Nuwara, London to Jaffna, all the places. And that is one important point, and infrastructure development is also very vital right now to develop domestic travelers comfort.
Wow. Do you see domestic travel having, like you said, we can't operate narrow body airlines. Do you see that happening in the next few years, or will it be a lot of infrastructure needed? Because if you're talking about runway development,
they need to do a lot of infrastructure developments. Instead, what we are planning to do is, in fact, even we have our plans to, in our long-term plan, to start domestic operation. But for that, we have to get different aircrafts. ATRs are different, not the aircrafts what we have in our fleet. So if that is not happening, we will invest money to get some new aircrafts and operate. But infrastructure development we have requested. That will help other airlines also to operate. Otherwise, we are limiting our capability.
Of course, true. So we touched on aircrafts, we touched on airlines and infrastructure. Now it comes to the most important aspect, people. I'd like to ask you about the prevailing state of talent in the industry right now, because we've had such a massive migration. What is the state?
Yes, even we, Sri Lanka, not only Sri Lanka, the whole industry faced this last couple of years. A lot of especially aviation industry, brilliant aviation professionals left
Yes.
the country.
Yes.
Those are unfortunate, but we can see there is improvement, and we as Sri Lankan Airlines also, we have invested in a lot of projects. We came up with management training programs, and we got undergraduates, freshers out of university, and we are training them as aviation professionals.
Right.
And also we invest a lot of money for our aviation college,
Yes.
which they have invested a lot of money for different courses, ground handling, flight attendance, engineering, everything.
Right.
And to develop these aviation professionals, they also have invested a lot of time.
Lovely.
And the industry. Industry is hand in hand with all of us, like you name it, hoteliers, travel agents, airlines, everyone. They have seen this. This brain drain is huge, so they have seen this, and we discussed. We had a lot of activities to retain this within the country, and they came up with a plan. All of us working towards that. But I would say now we can see a lot of people, they started creating some interest in this.
That's good.
But like I said, a lot of hotels we need.
Yes.
We need.
Yeah,
we
it's
are
people
expecting
across.
exactly 3 million tourists we are expecting. It'll be 4 million soon. For us to cater them, we should have the capability. And Sri Lankan, our strength is the people.
Yeah, of course.
We have to have Sri Lankan to cater them. We should not have anybody else. Of course, if we can't help it. But everyone is coming to Sri Lanka.
For
Our
Sri Lankan
speciality is Sri
hospitality,
Lanka. Our smile. That's the most important thing.
Exactly. So true. And if I ask you, for those who are going to enter the industry, either fresh or either midway through the career, what are the main skills that we need at this point from people?
I think mostly, like I mentioned, our strength is our smile, and it should come genuinely. There was a time, in Singapore and Hong Kong, they advertised how to smile. They had some hoardings.
Yes. Oh wow, yes.
How to smile. But for us,
We
it's
don't.
genuine. And of course, we should know it just because Sri Lanka, we should have that international exposure. I'm not saying they have to go overseas to get that, but they should know how all these international operators, how they manage everything. Training is important, qualification is important, but more than anything else, you should have the passion towards this. Aviation industry and hospitality industry is something you can't, I would say if you don't have that passion, it's very difficult to get used
It's not
to
a
this.
transaction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm sure all this young generation, they have that passion, and I'm confident that these people will take the country to the next level for sure.
Lovely. It's been such an interesting conversation, and I mean, we've covered a lot. But if I ask you as a final question, what is your outlook for the industry in terms of inbound and outbound for the rest of the year?
This year we will have I'm confident that we will have a very good year. Inbound tourism, we can see summer and winter bookings. Winter bookings already started getting slowly,
Nice.
but summer bookings are very good.
Okay.
And we had the best January. February for Sri Lanka, we had one of the highest load factors.
Nice.
And we never had that highest load factor in the history for last 10 years. February month is off peak. Still,
Yes.
March is good. April we have Easter and all the other peak periods. Of course, even though there are peaks and off peaks, this year there is no huge off peak period.
Okay.
So it's good. I'm confident even the outbound travel is good. We can see the numbers with all the airlines. That's why a lot of airlines are operating into Sri Lanka.
Yes.
They can see there's a lot of potential in Sri Lanka. Not only inbound, like I said, outbound travel is also good. Winter will be brilliant.
Okay.
Summer, July, August, half September is good.
Okay.
And I'm confident that this year we'll have a better year than 18-19.
89. Sounds amazing. Thank you very much. We've been in conversation with the head of commercial at Sri Lankan Airlines, Dimuthu Tennakoon. It was such an insightful and interesting conversation. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It's really nice.
And thank you to all our viewers for joining us. Until next time, take care.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram and X. Thank you for watching and stay safe.